Hello, hello. My name is Kendra Bolden, and I am so honored to be able to share with you my hopes and dreams and excitement for MIA, Mindset Illumination Acceleration. That is a mouthful, which is why it's called MIA, right? There is something so special about when we step into our truest essence and really start to redefine it, because it's not written in permanent ink, right? We are allowed to grow, evolve, and change as we continue on throughout our adult life, which is really beautiful. I think as children, we're often given this concept or for some a belief that, I want to grow up to be a policeman and that's the only thing you can ever be, or I want to be a doctor, a lawyer, etc. And it kind of puts us in this box that can feel restrictive, confining, can take our power away, because what happens when you grow up and you realize that you don't want those things for yourself, but your family wanted those things for you? Then you have to redefine, well, first you have to figure out who it is that you want to be, what your desires are, right? Sometimes that can even be challenging. I know from firsthand experience that can be challenging, because the beliefs and the belief systems, the values, the morals that our caretakers, mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, etc., have shared with us, sometimes they have taken deep, deep root, and it hinders us from showing up as our truest self, because there's a fear, there's an unknowing, there's a misalignment in a way that we haven't really taken time to examine. Because in this moment right now, how many times have you reevaluated your morals, your beliefs, your mindset? And that's what Mia is going to do for so many of you. It's going to allow you a space. Some people will call it shadow work. It's not therapy, but some people will call it shadow work, because it's going to ask you to dive deeper. Surface level answers will not get you anywhere with this program, with my support, with the community, the collective of souls that I am calling in. It's about doing the deep work so that you can really find your truest alignment for now. And you can revert back to these tools in another 5 years when you decide to evolve and change again, or however long it may be. So my goal for me is to cultivate a community that is inspired, inspiring, it's engaged, it's active, so that when you plug into it, you feel the energy. And perhaps on the day where you're waking up and you're like, man, today is just, it's not my day. But you tap into the collective and you say, oh, now I'm inspired because so and so is sharing their story. And I see, oh, I'm just reminded of something else. Oh, this just made me think of that. Oh, I can do my workbook. Oh, this module just inspired this. Or, oh, I'm going to go listen to this healing or activation again. Which, since I'm bringing up the bonuses, healings, activations, attunements, things created within the loving field of the Akashic records, right? To help you align energetically. I'm a believer that there's a lot of whole body wellness that comes together, because we are more than just our body. We are a soul having a human experience, which requires us to be grounded in our body. It requires us, or it asks of us, to be grounded in our body and understand our body and our needs, and how our mind can manifest things within our body, just as it manifests things into our reality in the 3D, right? And all of that being said, I get so excited to marry them together. The energetics, the spiritual, the mindset, the personal development. And then there's some strategies and some logic things in there, right? Like workbooks and things like that. But it takes you on this journey, because some of you will find that as you go through the program, you'll think that, oh, well, I'm a very logical, rational person. And then you come to find out that you're in a space where you're more emotional and you're tapping into feelings that perhaps you hadn't expressed yet or experienced, which shifts how you show up and express yourself. And that's okay. Okay, so within Mia, we're going to have the community. We'll have the community both on social media and off of social media in our member portal. And then you're going to be taken through your self-study program, where you have your lessons that you can do on your own pace. I suggest that you take your time and you integrate, you do a lesson, you practice it, you integrate it, you do the healings, you practice it, you allow yourself to experience it. Schedule time for yourself to do these things. Schedule time to show up for yourself. And then we'll have our 10 live group calls, which is where we'll come together as a collective. And of course, I have an outline for the themes that I want to cover for each of the sessions, but it's also an opportunity for you all to experience live coaching. I work within the Akashic Records, so I'll have the records of our collective open. So if you are open to it and you accept, if you ask questions, I'll be able to channel information for you that pertains or is relevant, if it's relevant for that question for the class, right? So it really marries together really beautifully, the spiritual, the energetics, the collective energy, seeing yourself become more empowered as you see other people on a parallel journey right alongside of you. You're not alone. There are so many people waiting in quiet desperation for each and every single one of us to show up and share the message in the way that we have to share it. They're waiting for permission. Perhaps you're waiting for permission and I'm telling you to give it to yourself. Now is a beautiful time to invest in yourself, in your self-worth, in your confidence, and uncovering who you are at the end of the day, not who you should be, how you should be, right? And shifting all of, I don't want to get too caught up on the modalities. Yes, I work in the Akashic Records. Yes, I'm a retired Army veteran. I have tons of leadership training for a number of certifications outside of that. I have 2 college degrees. I have accreditations and different things, right? I don't want to get caught up on that, but I want for you to look at it and just say, as a human being, where I am right now, what is it that I want to be doing and how can that help someone else? And it doesn't have to be about the accreditations for you. If you're not there yet, it could just be a stepping stone to understanding that even a conversation you provide with someone, for someone, can be beneficial, can be helpful, can be life-changing and monumental. I've had many guardian angels, earth guardian angels, right, come and plant a seed in my ear and spread some hope or share something with me that I didn't understand or that I didn't register right away. But years later, I was like, you know what? I remember this person coming to me at a coffee shop and saying this, and it makes sense now. And I believe that's an earth angel who left a message with me, right? So in the modules, I don't want to get too caught up on the names and what is in all of them because there's a lot of value in this. It's 14 weeks worth of material that you are going to have access to for life, to go back, to refresh yourself, to read it and then read it again. Because if you're like me and you love books, sometimes the first time you read a book, you think you got it all and then you read it again and you're like, oh my gosh, now I have this other perspective of it, this other take on it, because I've had these new experiences that have provided me an opportunity to look at it or hear it in a different way, right? So we have a module to awaken your soul and to return home to your divine essence, which is really important. And it goes back to understanding who you are, your beliefs, and removing what doesn't belong, what is heavy, what are you carrying that doesn't even belong to you, that belongs to your caregivers and things of that nature. And then when we shift into the next module, and I'm going kind of quickly through these, it's shifting into your play, into your sacred alignment. And what does that mean? Once you understand, okay, this isn't me, this doesn't feel good, this is what I truly desire, how do you get there? And that's how we go through that next module, is giving you the tools, the practice, right? The little protocols that you can use in order to get there. And I call that the play into your sacred alignment. And then we're going to unlock your awareness of your purpose, right? So do you see the building blocks and how they're forming? So once you have that clarity and understanding, then you can say, okay, so what is my purpose right now? And again, we're growing, we're living, we're breathing. So purpose today may not be our purpose in a year from now. Purpose today may not be our purpose 5 years from now, but it's a building block to get you closer to that next thing, that next level, that next stage of you, that right? Um, and then we're going to move into the synergies of your soulful path, because there's energetics that's required with what we do as we evolve, as we awaken, as we become more in tune with who we are, and allowing yourself to have the awareness of how to shift and cultivate that for you, because how it works for me may not work for you, is important. And then we take that and we're able to say, okay, how can I share this in an empowered way, in an empowering way, where I have reclaimed my power, I have reclaimed my voice, I have, taken back my need or desire for people pleasing or for fawning, because some people fawn, right? Fight, flight, fawn. And it allows you to reclaim that power that is yours, that approval that belongs to you, so that you can then shift and say, I'm going to create this reality because it is in alignment with what I truly desire, what I truly want, because you've sat with it long enough to identify that that is what you want, right? I can't tell you what you want. I can guide you, but you are the one who knows on the inside. And sometimes there's fear and resistance trying to uncover it, because we have been told who we should be for so long. For me, a label was baby sister, right? I wasn't raised with all of my siblings. We were raised separate. So it was like when we came together, it was always, you're the baby sister, but you're really strong. So anytime that there's a fight, like, we want you to be the pit bull, the one to go fight. But I'm really loving. I'm literally like a loving person. But back then I was a walking trauma response, and they fueled that belief system, or that mask that I had to uncover, I had to release, I had to let go of, so that I could show up as my true self and establish new boundaries, saying, I'm not that person anymore. Yes, I was. Yes, that's how you used to engage with me and interact, but this is me now. And then working through, this is the boundary and this is the consequence for not following that, because I have to learn how to honor myself, love myself, so other people can do the same, so that I can magnetize more of the life that honors and appreciates me in that capacity. Okay, I don't want to get onto it too much for that. So using your voice to shift that, finding the soulful messaging and the mindset shifts that align with what I just discussed, and then really being seen in your truest essence, where you just light up and you're like, this is it. I'm jittery. I'm excited. This is my thing. I can't wait to share it. I can't wait to be this, because you have to become that version of yourself once you identify it. Right now, in this moment, I'm showing up as the version of myself that I want to be. And then as I become more of her, I'm going to continuously transmute that energy and shift into that next thing. And then what is that going to do? It's going to call in the people, places, and things, the belief systems that align with that, right? I will no longer accept a partner that is the level of partner that I've had in the past, because I am well aware now of my worth, my value, my belief systems, who I am becoming, who I am, the things that I've overcome. I am a badass. But I didn't understand that for so long, because I was in survival mode. And when I was in survival mode for so long, before doing this work myself, before doing this work with my clients, before seeing the transformation, I didn't realize it, because I was so busy checklist. I got to mark it off. That I didn't pause long enough to reflect, to see what I had overcome, what I had learned, what I had gained, and the fact that I was not me. I didn't need to be in survival mode anymore. I was safe. And in safe mode, trauma Kendra, survival Kendra isn't necessary. It's okay to relax. It's okay to sit back and then allow myself an opportunity to kind of shift gears, to let go, to relax, to learn how to feel safe in that safe zone. Because when you've lived a life where you're always hyper vigilant, where you're always on guard, where you are a walking trauma response like I was, you have to deprogram and really practice these things with grace and compassion and love and support. I've had a lot of support, you guys, which is why I am holding the space for you. I've had therapists, friends, mentors, coaches, healers, someone like myself. And it's because as we meet ourselves more deeply, people can meet themselves more deeply because they feel safe to do so. They see that there's hope and possibility. But let me get back on track. So being seen in your truest essence and in your soul's purpose. And then we move on to sacred selling and alignment with your highest self, because there are spiritual business owners who are in this program. And we'll move more into that and how you transition your journey of storytelling and experience and expertise and training all can translate. And then we're going to transition into what I call the Soulpreneur life, holistic entrepreneur schedule for balance. And then that's going to teach you that next level once you've got your mind wrapped around sacred selling and identified any blocks or anything where it was kind of uncomfortable or resistance, because some people, especially spiritual business owners, often find resistance in saying, like, am I allowed to charge? What am I allowed to charge? Am I worth charging this much? Which goes back to what we covered earlier with you establishing your worth first, your value first. You are special, you are precious, you are important, you are loved. And when you begin with self-love and self-care, everything else around you either has to check itself, remove itself, or rise up to the opportunity to meet you where you are, or ask you to come even higher than you've expected. And you've set the bar, right? I love surrounding myself in communities that challenge things like that for me, because I call myself a student of life. And when I'm like, oh, I think I've got it, this is it, da, da, da. And then when I find someone who's really incredible and inspiring and motivating, and they call me to rise up even more, right? That's what we're doing. We're creating people who want to energetically pull us up with them by answering the call to be more of ourselves, to show up for ourselves. So Mia is a really unique program in that there's the spiritual aspect, the mindset and personal development, but there's also the tools needed to get you from one place to another. And then you're supported with the live calls, which makes it so much more fun. And I don't want you to feel like you have to hide or be a fly on the wall, because you get out of it what you put into it. So if you do the work, if you show up, if you connect, if you ask questions, you're going to get a lifetime's worth of value from what you invest in yourself. And I'm so excited and honored to share this with you all. I look forward to seeing you in Mia. If you have any questions or concerns whatsoever, you can contact Kendra at soulpreneurlifellc.com. That's my email, direct email, so I'll reply to you as soon as I can, within business hours, of course. And then soulpreneurlifellc.com is where you can go and select the Work With Me tab, and you can view more information directly about Mia, and what all of the specific bonuses are and things like that. But I don't want you to get caught up on that, because there is a lot. It can be like, oh man, this is a lot. I don't know if this is something I can do, or it could be something where it's like, heck yeah, this is exactly what I want. I love it. Give me all of the meditations, all the workbooks, all of the videos and live calls and all the things. And you just know it's like, hell yeah, this is it. This is for me. But I want you to be excited about whatever it is that you participate in the entire time. I've been there where I've signed up for a course and I was really excited, and then I start, and then all of a sudden it's like a week later and I'm like, yeah, I'm over it. This is the opposite of that. Mia is going to challenge you. It's going to invite you in, call you in, and call you up. It's going to ask you to elevate your thinking, your feeling, your energetics, your vibration. Okay, I'm sending each and every single one of you so much love and so much gratitude, and I look forward to seeing you in Mia. And yes, there are payment plans that are also listed on the website. So I will talk to you all soon.